Hi BookTube, it's now 3 o'clock on Tuesday, and if it wasn't for these daily vlogs, I probably would forget what day it is because I thought tomorrow was Thursday. I was just sure of it, but no, I was like, wow, these meetings are going to conflict with each other. But no, that's not the case. I just got back from a really long walk because it's cloudy and cool outside, around like 70 degrees, and just perfect for a long walk because Fable, like, even when it's 70 degrees, if there's a lot of sun, she just like bakes in it because she has that really dense double coat. But yeah, I'm sitting outside now and I'm going to be reading a book, a reread. This is Beezus and Ramona by Beverly Cleary. This isn't, I wasn't originally thinking of adding this book to my TBR for the Shorty September because this is a book I'm doing for a group read, but it just happens to fit the prompt of, you know, something short. So yeah, looking forward to reading this, and we're just going to read one each month. And I really want to go to the Beverly Cleary, there's a park with a couple sculptures that I've heard about, and there's like the Click-a-cat street that's featured in a lot of the series, and so hopefully I can go there while I'm doing this daily vlog so I can show you the area. And so I also finished one book, and I'm going to turn the camera around now so I can show you some pictures, but I finished First Dogs, American Presidents and Their Best Friends by Roy Rowan and Brooke Janice. Okay, so this was really more of a coffee read than it was a history book. But what was cool is like every page practically had some text along with some pictures with a description. So this is Kermit with Blackjack. And let's see if I can find some. Theodore Roosevelt with his dog, and his dog's right there. Let's see. Jack and Old Whiskers, and this is which president? Harrison. And this one's kind of ominous. This is one where there's a black dog following the president, and this one is saying Mystery Dog and the Doomed McKinley, because there was a black dog foreshadows McKinley when his assassination, when he's viewing the Niagara Falls. Let's see. Yeah, I think because I think he died during the Niagara Falls trip. If I'm not mistaken. I mean, you know, got shot during that time. We have President Clinton. This is the last one because this was, and that's not a dog actually, it's a cat. Because he's like dogless, the dogless White House. But this book came out in I think 92, so it was before any recent ones. 97. Okay. Yeah. So even though it was a lot of history kind of sort in here, it wasn't anything that you couldn't get anywhere else. It didn't go in depth on anything. It would have been nice if it did go in depth on, especially even just the dog related stories, because it gives you a ton of stories in here of them, but not just all like surface level, if that makes sense. But yeah, it was a cute little browse through, and happy to have read it. I'm in the kitchen and I'm not making dinner. I am making one of those wacky cakes where there's no butter or eggs or milk. It's a chocolate olive oil cake. I'll leave a link in the description below to the recipe, hopefully if I remember. But I thought I would briefly show you the ingredients. It's perfect if you don't have like any of the normal ingredients on hand, but you want cake. So there is unsweetened chocolate powder, sugar, olive oil, salt, flour, molasses, because I didn't have brown sugar on hand. I rarely do. I just make my own. I just combine the sugar and the molasses separately, mix it up together, and then I have either light or dark brown sugar, and then vinegar. So the vinegar and the baking soda is what makes it rise instead of the eggs. Oh, and also, I forgot to mention, there's like a cup and a half of water in here, and you can use either water or coffee. I've tried it both ways, and I don't think it makes that much of a difference. And I speaking of like having eggs and all that on hand, I rarely have coffee on hand because I don't drink coffee. So yeah, and then here's the chocolate batter I'm gonna put in the oven. And I know you can like turn the parchment paper to make it all smooth, but I don't care if it has the funny edges. I just like tear off a sheet, put it in there, and then pour it yeah, I will show you the finished results with the icing. And the icing is really different too. Again, hopefully I'll leave that the recipe in the description below, because the icing, instead of being like a typical frosting with powdered sugar, butter, and like chocolate chips, instead it's olive oil, chocolate powder, chocolate chips, and I think some salt. Like it's kind of like a salted chocolate frosting. And so, yeah, super easy to whip together, especially on a Tuesday night. So here's the finished product. It takes about 35 minutes to bake typically for me, and then an hour to cool down, and it's ready to eat. Hi, Fable. She's looking at something. It's a cloudy day for sure. Fall is upon us.